Hey guys, it's Justin again with another video. This is going to be something, as usual, a little different. This is going to be a video on organization, how I stay organized, and maybe I can pass some tips along to anybody who might be struggling with organization. So a little while back, my friend Joel, True Gumpla, did a video on organization, and I know he talked about it a little bit in his podcast, The Cutting Mat. I'll try and put a link to that down below if I can find a way to share Spotify links or anything like that, or I'll grab one from him. Anyway, he just bought one of these, I say just, but he bought one of those things that goes around your desk and you build it and it's got all the trays and the drawers and all that stuff, and it helps keep you organized. Well, I don't spend a lot of my time building in my hobby room. That's mostly where I paint and take photos. Most of my building is either done out and about, sometimes at work, sometimes I'm visiting relatives, sometimes I'm just down here in the living room or the kitchen spending time with my family. So that's when I get to build. So my solution to staying organized and still being able to be productive is this stacking toolbox set. I have 3 of these. One of them is filled with like LED components. I'm not going to show that off today. It's really not that important, but you can imagine another one of these just filled with wires and LEDs and resistors and stuff. But this is my core like building box. This has got everything I need to do building, modifications. The only thing we're really short of is like plow plate and stuff like that, and that's just because I can't really fit a sheet of styrene in here. You'll see why in a minute. But I wanted to be able to do basic stuff anywhere I am, no matter what kind of build I want to do, whether I'm snap building, whether I'm planning to paint something, modify, whatever. I have everything I need right here, ready to go. So the top tray is really the most important stuff. This is where anything that I need just to build is going to be. So I've got 4 pairs of cutters. I've got 2 kind of lower quality ones. I've got these are for like cutting through like giant pieces of sprue. These are, maybe someone's joining us and forgot theirs at home, or maybe I'm working on resin and need to get a little bit closer than those guys can get. These are my guys. And then I've got my God Hands and my USA Gundam cutters. And then I've got sanding sponge, nail sponge. Excuse me. And then, that's pretty much all you need to get something put together. Now, if you want to go a little bit further than that, I've got a file for sanding, and then I've got an X-Acto knife. So right there, basic assembly is pretty much taken care of. Now beyond that, I've got scribing tape. I've got a couple of different scribers in here. I've got the hook scriber. I've got the big one. I've got the pen scriber with the magnetic back that attaches to everything. So anytime I need to scribe something, I'm good to go. So plenty of those. I've got masking tape, just a small roll just in case. You never know when you might need it. It comes in handy all the time. I've got 2 pin vices, and then my bits are in here. So whatever, I should probably take these out and put them back in the thing so they don't break, but that's a problem for tomorrow, Justin, not today, Justin. And then I've got a couple pairs of tweezers, just different kinds, reverse joint, regular ones, and then just a kind of crappy pair. Here's just a couple like little strips and tubes of plastic. I can out of this box I can do really basic, scratch build, detail up stuff, but nothing too crazy. I've got a couple rulers. I've got this like this triangle ruler thing, and then I've also got a just a standard ruler. I prefer the flat ruler, but if I just need to make a straight line, I'll just pull the other one out if need be. So let me go ahead and put this stuff on real quick, and then we'll go over what else is in here. Okay, so over here we've got this little like hard rubber sanding pad, and then I've got a bunch of these smaller sanding pads. These aren't the highest quality, but they get the job done, so it works. I would like to replace these ideally maybe with some MadWorks sanding sponges. And then over here we've got a toothbrush for when I'm sanding if I want to get all the dust out of everything. I've got a micron pen. You never know when you have to mark something. A couple pencils for, again, scribing. And then just a bunch of other markers, mostly Gundam markers and Real Touch markers. And then in here, I don't think there's a specific reason they're in here versus anywhere else, but there's some scribing templates in case I want to, scribe some odd shapes or anything like that. They are at the ready. This is mostly an empty container, but there's just a couple of like unfinished Kingdom Death models, just kind of hanging out in there. We've got blue tack. I should probably just stick that up there, and then I've got Mount Photo Etch right here. So all my photo etch is here. It's not really organized or anything. It's just there. It doesn't take that long to just go through it and see what I need and then use it. Spare beam saber, I guess. I've got modeling glue. This is Plastic Magic. This is kind of my cement of choice. If given the option, this tends to work better than anything unless I want a temporary hold, in which case I'll use the Tamiya Extra Thin or even the Tamiya Thick. And then here I've got these 3D printed detail parts. I've never used these yet, but I have a whole collection of these, and they're all organized. I've put them by their part number, so this last one here is part number 28. So if I run out of these, or I run out of a certain piece on this, all I have to do is pull the tab out, see what number it is, and then I can go order a new one. And then down here in the corner, we've just got some Q-tips in case I do some panel lining or something like that and I need to clean anything up. So that's the top box. Like I said, this is mostly just the core components of what I need just to build something. And then I can do some modifications and stuff like that. The bottom box is mostly extras. Now there's a lot of like crossover here. So here I've got another pair of like really heavy duty cutters. And then these are like pliers almost. They don't have a blade on them. They pick things up. So if I can't find a pair of tweezers for some reason, I have access to that. Now this, my super glue is supposed to go in the middle, so there's that. I was using that earlier. Up here at the top, I have a pack of 100 X-Acto blades. This is a very good pickup if you don't, or if you use X-Acto blades. This is super cheap on Amazon. I found this thanks to Good Guy Dan on Reddit. He is one of my close friends. I've got a parts separator. This is a fantastic piece of equipment. What else we got in here? There's a bunch of brass rods in here. There's another parts separator, just a different kind. I have larger photo etch down here, so here's some photo etch saws. You never know when you need to cut something. Photo etch railings, 2 different styles. That's all I have right now. And then over here, here's how I use my photo etch. So I'll put a little bit of taper on the back of it. It makes it a little bit easier to grip. And yeah. A bunch of different sanding sponges. I just went to Walmart down the nail aisle and got stuff. Sculpting tools if I'm working with putty, which I just realized there's no putty in here. That's weird. These are all my other scribers, so whatever scribers are not in use will just go back into their little containers so that they stay nice and protected and nothing happens to them. And then down here we've got just a bunch of sandpaper. So anything from 400 grit all the way up to currently 1200, but I'm going to put it up to 2000. And anytime I need sandpaper, I just reach in here, grab a piece, and we're ready to go. And that's my box. So this is how I keep organized. This is, like I said, I don't really have a ton of time to build. In my hobby space, I like to spend time with my family and hang out with everybody. So when I get to build, it's usually down here in the kitchen or in the living room. And this is just how I get everything done. This is how, where I try to keep my tools and stuff like that. Sometimes they migrate, but for the most part, this is where everything stays. What do you guys use? Do you guys have a similar method? Do you guys toss all your tools in like an old box? Another thing I used to do is I would throw my tools in the model that I was working on. And the only reason I truly stopped doing that is because I ended up, stopped working on a project for some reason. And then I go to clean my room or find something, and I find a bunch of tools in a box. So that wasn't really efficient. So this is what I'm working with right now. I'm curious if you guys have anything similar. So hit me up in the comments if you guys are interested. As always, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys for the next video.